What's going on, everybody? I'm with my buddy Garrett today. We're going to be going over the first couple of steps that you need to take when buying your first home. This is something very important that they do not teach you in school, so we're going to go over this and we'll see you then. So Garrett, what do you think the first step to buying your home is? I remember going to high school and I never really had them teach me how to buy my home, and I was always wondering, what am I going to do once I turn 18 and my dad wants me out of my house? Am I going to have to put down a large sum of money to get my first home that I want? Like, what was the first step that I should do? At this point in my time, I'm renting, I have an apartment. So what do you think that if people want to get a home instead of an apartment, what do you think that they could do and what they should do for their first step?
Well, I would definitely say for anybody looking to get their first home, such as yourself, I would say that the first thing, and it's not the most fun thing, and it doesn't sound like you're doing a lot, but it's going to be to save. It's going to be save as much money as you can, because if you are looking to purchase a home, it's going to be to cut expenses out. It's going to be to just build up the most amount of capital that you can so that you can qualify for a loan to buy that house. I think a misconception that a lot of people probably watching this, and maybe you yourself have, is that you need, if you want a $600,000 home, you need $600,000. I mean, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just like in your business, how you use leverage, you can use leverage in real estate to purchase things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. So, I would definitely say build up your capital first, just like in any business or any investment. Make sure that you have enough money so that it doesn't go south on you.
All right, so let's say that people don't have a lot of money saved up, and let's say they're getting kicked out of their house or just have a shorter amount of time to find a place to live. What do you think they can do? They can go and get a loan from a bank, right? But credit is very dependent upon that, right? How big of a loan you can get, right?
Yes. First steps to getting a loan, because that's definitely going to be how you're going to purchase your first property, would most likely, again, you need the capital, but you also need to be able to back the mortgage payments. So the capital up front is for that down payment. Yeah. Which with there's special low down payment programs where you can come in as little as 2.5%, 3%.
Oh, that's low.
Yeah. So say you're looking for a like a $700,000 house. You're like, oh shit, that's so expensive, man. I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to pick up a $700,000 house right now. Well, that's not a big deal. If you can justify the mortgage payments, which for that, I mean, depending on what the rate is at this time that you're watching this, I mean, could be anywhere between $2,500 and maybe $4,000, just broad. But that's what you need to be able to back up. So if you're making that every month, yeah, and you had that initial capital in the beginning from saving, you should be able to qualify for that loan. Okay. So I mean, it's more reasonable than people think with these lower down payments and just the assistance that's provided, and that interest rates are at 4.25%, which is, I mean, historically extremely low. Some of your parents bought at 18%, their grandparents. I mean, it's been coming down steadily, but I mean, 4.25% is not expensive to borrow this kind of money. Yeah, it's crazy how you say that the prices are always accumulating, which they are, because my dad, he got the current house that he lives in for like $300,000, and he told me the other day that it's worth over $700,000. I was like, wow, just by him sitting on that and paying off his mortgage every month, he was able to have like... Yeah, you build that equity, the market rises just like in anything, and you start coming out on top. But I mean, it's not that there's no risk to it. I mean, everybody knows what happened in 2008. Everybody knows that the market fluctuates with anything. But I think over the long haul, if you're looking for maybe a 10-year, 15-year time horizon, like to build some real wealth, I don't think you can go wrong with real estate. So you'd be buying, not renting though? Yeah, so some investors and books I've read and things like that say different, they give different advice. Some of the advice is to rent and then own a property and rent that out. Okay. So that their rent can cover where you live, so that you're buying in places where you can make the numbers work as far as an investment, and then you're taking that overflow and then that's what you're using for your rent. Okay. So you're building an appreciation on your asset, but you're also living for free or at a discounted rate because of your renter. So most people, when they're starting to go into real estate, trying to get their first home, you would definitely recommend that they rent instead of buy, right? Because it's way too expensive to buy. I don't think I'd be looking to buy. Yeah, renting is obviously where a lot of people are going to have to go. I mean, a lot of people don't even have the down payment necessary to purchase a home, and that's just the reality that we're in. The affordability index is way off, and houses are very expensive, and people aren't making that much. Yeah. So it's hard. So I would definitely say starting with saving and making sure that you're increasing your income in a way that in a time horizon that you're comfortable with, the numbers work out for you to buy a home. You know what I mean? Like, you always got to be looking at that.
The way that I think of it, it's kind of like a cushion, because when I moved into my apartment, they usually ask for 2 times proof of income, meaning that if I make $5,000 or if the rent is $3,000 here, they want to see that you're making over $6,000 a month. So that's like the same thing. I kind of like that, because when I go into it, it's like, all right, I'm showing them proof that I can afford to live here.
Yeah, because you're a risk to this building.
Yeah.
So somebody invested in this building that we're in right now, and they want to make sure that their money is going to continue to bring in a steady return.
Yeah.
They can't, like we were talking about earlier, like this place that we're in right now was like 80% vacancy, right? So 20% of this building isn't bringing in any income for the investors. So I mean, it's important from both, like when you look at it from both sides, like as an investor and then as like a consumer, it's interesting. You're like this guy's like, fuck, like I gotta pay my rent, and this guy's like, yeah, these guys are all paying their rent. Like it's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you think like what side you want to sit on.
Yeah, I was just thinking that earlier. I was like, shit, I think I might get a duplex, condo, something.
Yeah.
And real estate is one of the best investments out there.
Long term,
hands down.
Long term, hands down, makes the most millionaires. Long term, hands down, I would say it's the most real asset that you can buy. I mean, it's got utility to it. You can live in it. You can rent it. You can, depending on the type of property you have. I mean, if you have a commercial property, you can do a lot with it. So it's interesting.
Now let's talk about on the other spectrum, if people want to get into real estate, what do you think is the most affordable, the easiest way, if there's any links, books that people can look into that can get started in the real estate industry?
So the real estate industry, just from being in it, the time that I have, is I've learned that it's massive. There's so many different aspects to real estate. It's crazy. And some of them are very complex, and they all have their different pros and cons, right? So if you're gonna get into real estate, not as like a service provider in the real estate industry, but you're trying to like use real estate as an investment, and you don't have a lot of money to start to do something big, you could invest in something that's called a REIT. You can go on any brokerage and you can buy shares of companies that invest in real estate for you. There's tons of websites. Fundrise is one of my favorites.
What's the minimal payment that people have to put in to actually start seeing a return on their money?
You could see a return on as little as $50, $25. Wow. You could get started investing in real estate.
You guys hear that? What was the website so they can see it again?
So
should be right up here, guys.
Yeah, so if you go into any brokerage and find a REIT that you want to invest in, we can do another video on how to find the correct REIT for them and how they can invest in that. But Fundrise is one. I believe Fundrise minimum is $500, but they are going to build a portfolio for you that's going to be a lot more balanced than something that you can pick on your own.
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, the average American has $500 in their savings account that's getting a 0.03% ROI yearly. So
definitely 5%.
Why not invest that in something else that's
and
really
something solid.
Put your money to work.
Yeah, definitely.
So guys, we want to thank Garrett for coming on. Thanks, boss.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, hope you did.
Yes, but I'm gonna have his social links below. You guys can stay connected with them. He'll have his Instagram, Snapchat, all that good stuff. So you can reach out to him, ask any questions that you have, concerns. But if you guys could like this video, of course, if you do like it, if you could hit
like
that
and subscribe.
Yeah, hit that nice subscribe button right here on the screen, wherever
it is.
And we'll see you guys on the next video.
Thank you so much. You guys take care.